Success in sport is often mistaken for control of outcomes, statistics, and destiny. But the Stoic knows better. The only control that matters is inward. You cannot command the result, only your preparation, presence, and response. It's not about the numbers on the scoreboard, but the strength of your mind and character. Baseball sharpens this truth. A perfect swing may fail. A focused at-bat may still result in silence. Here, detachment is not a luxury, it is survival. The Stoic athlete shows up not for certainty, but for character. He does not chase victory. He trains his mind to stay ready when victory does not arrive. The mental game is not about winning, it is about remaining. Remaining steady when the pitch goes sideways. Remaining calm after the call doesn't go your way. Remaining grounded in a world that moves fast, loud, and without warning. Rituals help. They clear the clutter, center the breath. But they are not guarantees. The Stoic uses them not as superstition, but as scaffolding, supporting him as he steps into the unknown again and again. He lets go of needing to succeed. And in doing so, he succeeds more often. Not because he controls the result, but because he no longer fears it. To master the mental game, one must release the outcome, play with full presence and empty expectation, and when the moment ends, win or lose, one must be able to say, "I gave what was mine to give. The rest was never mine." To grip too tightly is to break. To cling to results is to walk with anxiety in your chest. The Stoic athlete loosens his grip, not on effort, but on outcome. He learns the freedom of letting go, not as surrender, but as clarity. Every game brings uncertainty. A well-placed pitch may be driven into the stands, or a hard-hit ball may land in a glove. The Stoic does not pretend otherwise. He does not play to control results. He plays to express his preparation, his presence, and his principles. Letting go is not weakness. It is strength without strain. It is knowing where your influence ends and where the world begins. You can control your mechanics, your mindset, your intent, but not the way the ball bounces. Even failure becomes lighter in this view. Not because it hurts less, but because it no longer defines you. The Stoic absorbs failure like weather, acknowledges it, learns from it, moves on. He does not resist what has already happened. He responds to it. Letting go of results is not detachment from care. It is deep, focused engagement, without the burden of control. It loves the game for the act itself, not the score it may yield. In the release, there is strength. In the surrender, there is composure. And in that composure, the Stoic walks forward, ready, steady, already free. And now let's draw 12 principles for the Stoic. Principle 1. Endure with purpose. Endurance without meaning wears thin. It becomes fatigue, bitterness, and burnout. But endurance grounded in purpose becomes something else: discipline, character, resilience. The Stoic athlete does not simply survive hardship. He transforms it. Every strikeout, every slump, every unseen hour in the cage is not wasted. It is carved into the grain of who he is becoming. For instance, a baseball player can view a strikeout not as a failure, but as an opportunity to learn and improve. The Stoic understands that true power is not found in domination but in persistence, in the quiet vow to show up when nothing is guaranteed. Purpose gives hardship its shape, gives pain its reason. You are not just enduring, you are building. With each moment of resistance met with clarity, you forge something no victory can give and no failure can take away. Principle 2. Detach from results. Outcomes are smoke. They swirl, they vanish. The Stoic does not chase them. He prepares, he acts, and then he lets go. This is the posture of freedom, total commitment to the effort, total release of the result. You cannot dictate the ball's path, nor control how the world will receive your best efforts. Yet, you possess the power to offer your utmost. The Stoic acts fully, expecting nothing in return, not from indifference, but from profound understanding. To cling to outcomes is to invite suffering twice, once in the effort and once in the aftermath. Therefore, Embrace the serenity that comes from doing what is yours to do. Allow the rest to flow by like the changing weather, indifferent to its whims. You cannot command the trajectory of the ball. You cannot decide how the world will receive your best. But you can determine that your best will be offered. The Stoic gives fully, expecting nothing. Not out of apathy, but out of understanding. To cling to outcomes is to suffer twice, once in the effort, and again in the aftermath. Instead, live in the clarity of doing what was yours to do. Let the rest pass through like weather. Principle 3. Focus on what you can control. 1,000 variables orbit every game. Pitch speeds, weather shifts, calls from the umpire. But the Stoic athlete narrows his gaze. What is mine to command? My preparation. My response. My breath. Focusing on what you can control does not shrink the game. It is to reclaim your agency. When you stop grasping for what isn't yours, you find power in what is. The way you warm up. The way you take the field. The way you speak to yourself after a failure. This is not resignation, it is revelation. Your strength is not in bending the world to you but standing steady within it. Principle 4. Find strength in failure. Failure visits often in sport. It is not rare. It is rhythm. And yet the Stoic does not see it as ruin. He sees it as a teacher. What stings today instructs tomorrow. Every mistake is material. Not for shame, but for shaping. To fail is not to fall short of your identity. It is a step closer to your truth. The Stoic walks through failure not with pride, but with openness. He asks what can be learned, not what can be avoided. The one who cannot fail cannot grow. Strength is not the absence of missteps. It is the refusal to be defined by them. Principle 5. Cultivate consistency over perfection. Perfection is the mirage. Consistency is the oasis. The Stoic does not wait for the perfect day, the perfect swing, or the perfect feeling. He shows up, works, and refines. Mastery is not a moment, it is a method. Consistent action, aligned with values, builds something more enduring than brilliance. It builds trust. Trust in oneself. Trust in process. Trust that the work is never wasted, even when it does not glow. Let others chase perfection. You return, day after day, to the basics. There, in the repetition, virtue takes root. Principle 6.
Detach from the ego.
Ego whispers falsehoods. It says you are your batting average, your contract, your reputation. It swells in triumph and breaks in silence. However, the Stoic athlete knows that the ego is not identity. It is a shadow, fragile and loud, easily inflated and easily shattered. To detach from ego is to see clearly. To know that you are not the applause, nor the criticism. That your worth is not a reflection in others' eyes, but the steadiness of your own character. The Stoic trains himself not to be humble in speech but in soul, not to appear grounded, but to be grounded. Humility is not weakness. It is precision. It allows you to correct without shame, succeed without pride, and walk forward without comparing your path to another's. The ego is reactive. It seeks to be fed. The Stoic, in contrast, seeks to serve his team, his purpose, his principles. And in that, he becomes untouchable. Not above it all, but beneath it all. Rooted. Principle 7. Let go of expectations. Expectation is a subtle trap. It dresses itself as motivation but often delivers disappointment. The Stoic athlete shows up prepared, not to fulfill an outcome, but to be fully engaged in the task. He does not promise himself a hit, a win, a headline. He promises only to try with honesty and full presence. Letting go of expectations does not mean giving less, it means giving without demand. It means acting from the inside, not in hopes of outside confirmation. Whether the game rewards you or denies you is not your measure. What you gave to the game is. The Stoic plays freely because he does not play with conditions. He swings for the right reasons. And when the inning ends, he lets it end. His next moment is not tied to his last. To be expectation-free is not to drift. It is to be anchored more deeply in the only place that holds, the present. Principle 8. Embrace the present moment. There is no scoreboard in the now. No highlight reel. Only the next breath. The next play. The next small chance to live fully. The Stoic does not wait to be present. He returns to it again and again, when the stakes are high, when the crowd roars, when silence thickens. To embrace the present is to free yourself from ghosts and fantasies. The past is a memory. The future is projection. But here is life, raw and real and unrepeatable. In the batter's box, there is no room for yesterday's slump or tomorrow's pressure. There is only the pitch, the pause, the body, the will. The Stoic lives there, not by accident, but by practice. He trains his focus like he trains his swing. To be here, just here, and in being here, he gives all he has. Principle 9. Develop resilience through rituals. Ritual is not superstition. It is structure, the architecture of intention. The Stoic athlete respects ritual not because it guarantees success but because it invites readiness. A breath before the pitch. A grounding step onto the field. A quiet word spoken inward. These are not magic, they are memory. They return the athlete to himself, to what matters, to where he stands. Resilience is built in repetition, not just drills but centering, choosing presence when distraction beckons. The Stoic does not become rigid in his ritual. He uses it, but is not used by it. He is still himself if the glove is missing or the routine is interrupted. The ritual helps, but he does not need it. His resilience lies not in the action, but in the awareness it awakens. Principle 10. Avoid comparison. Comparison is the thief of focus. It draws your eye from your path to someone else's lane. The Stoic looks inward. He does not measure himself against teammates or rivals. He measures himself against yesterday's self. Every player has a different rhythm, a different struggle. You do not know the weight of another's excellence. To compare is to judge without knowledge, and to suffer needlessly. The Stoic commits to his own growth. He learns from others, but he does not envy them. Their greatness does not diminish him. His effort is his own. His standard is his character. Let others run fast. You run true. And in doing so, you arrive where only you can go. Principle 11. Live according to virtue. The Stoic does not ask, "What will this win me?" He asks, "What is right?" He lives by a code older than the game, deeper than the moment. Wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These are not abstract. They are choices, practiced daily. Virtue is not separate from sport, it is expressed through it. In how you lose. In how you lead. How do you correct a mistake or celebrate a teammate? The Stoic athlete plays hard, but not dirty. He competes fiercely, but not ruthlessly. He honors the game because he honors himself. Virtue shapes every swing, every word, every silence. This is not perfection. It is direction. To live by virtue is to aim not at applause, but at alignment. Principle 12. Practice gratitude. The game owes you nothing. The world owes you nothing. And still, here you are. The Stoic remembers this. He wakes with thanks. Thanks for the body that moves. For the chance to try. For the failure that humbles. For the moment that teaches. Gratitude softens ambition's edge. It reminds you that the grind is a gift. That pressure means you're alive. That to compete, stretch, hurt, and hope is the life so many dream of. The Stoic does not wait for success to feel grateful. He is thankful in the storm, in the setback, in the silence between cheers. Gratitude is not a feeling. It is a stance. A way of seeing. And the Stoic sees clearly.